So now we're going to move on to the third session. And this is actually picking up from what Amar and Hival said about the reciprocity that's part of mentoring. Often we think about mentoring as a kind of one-way road. And in our next session, we're going to celebrate mutual mentorship. We're going to hear from Daisy Jacobs, Jenna, and Tamana of Roots. One of their core programs is a mentoring program designed for mutual impact. So let's hear from them now. Daisy, are you there? Yes. Hello, Daisy.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. I think Jenna and Tamana are here as well, and hopefully they'll be pinned in a second. But my name's Daisy, and I am, there they are, hello. I'm one of the co-founders of Roots, and that was just the perfect segue from Amma about win-win relationships, because it's exactly what I'm going to talk about today alongside Jenna and Tamana. So we run a mentoring program that was started in 2018 as a way of supporting women in our community who have experience of the UK asylum system to access more opportunities through one-to-one support from a mentor. And we've now had over 100 mentees go through our 6 programs to date, and focusing on areas from accessing employment to applying for education, developing communication skills, and also improving digital skills. And I also wanted to mention up front that we're a social enterprise, and this program is one of our sources of earned income. So mentors are sponsored by their employers to take part in the program as a personal development opportunity as well. So we provide 13 hours of training to mentors, as well as reflection and support throughout the program, which makes this a really intentional mutual mentoring opportunity where mentees are supported to reach their goals, and mentors are also supported on a learning and development journey of their own. And this past year, we've really been focusing on creating equitable and multi-directional mentoring relationships. And this is an attempt to shift the power dynamic of traditional mentoring in acknowledgement of the fact that both parties, so the mentor and the mentee, have things to learn from and also give to the relationship. So I've got, actually, I won't share the slides now, but so where the power dynamic of a traditional mentoring relationship might be that one person, the mentor, is more senior or more experienced or feels as though they've got knowledge to impart on their mentee, we've designed this program to look and feel more equal. So we think about the information that both parties have access to. We prepare both mentors and mentees to make the most out of their experience. And both mentors and mentees set their own learning goals and also reflect on what they're going to be contributing in terms of their knowledge and skills to the relationship. And crucially, we champion a non-directive mentoring approach in which the mentor is there to create space for the mentee to learn and grow using the tools that they already have at their disposal. So that also tends to leave more room for the mentor to learn and grow as well. And what we found is that championing this approach to mentoring leads to a much more mutual mentoring relationship where both parties are learning and growing and supporting each other while still making significant progress towards the mentee's goal, which still is the main point of the relationship, as you're going to hear from Tamana and Jenna in a moment. So with that in mind, and I've rushed through that very quickly because we have so much to get through and we could chat for ages, I am so pleased to introduce you to Tamana and Jenna, who were a mentor and mentee pair on our 2019 program, which feels like ages ago, to talk to you about their experience of mentoring and some of the mutual benefits of it as well. So firstly, I'm going to come to Tamana, and I would love you to tell us a bit about your mentoring journey and what you feel as though you learned or gained from your experience with Jenna.
Thank you very much, Daisy, and hello, everyone. I have been fortunate to have had a number of knowledgeable mentoring sessions with my mentor, Jenna, during and even post-mentoring program at Roots. She helped me to develop professionally and personally both. There are a significant number of lessons that I learned from Jenna during my mentoring period, which have had a long-lasting and positive impact in my career. To summarize all the lessons, I will say she taught me to be smart, means to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive, not only in professional life, in every stage of my life, personally, professionally, in my family commitments as well. I also really like the way Jenna treated me during my mentoring sessions, and I'm keen on paying it forward. At this time in my career, I am at the stage where I can talk about all the barriers and challenges that I face while achieving my goal, and how I have overcome them to like-minded people. I have learned a lot about British culture, British education system, and employment market. And I have also developed a draft and a specific long and short-term goals that I wanted to achieve in my career. So there's quite a lot to talk about my mentoring journey and what I have learned, but just to summarize it in a few statements.
That was a beautiful summary. Thanks, Tamana. And I'm sure we'll talk a bit more about the journey that you went on together in the next few minutes as well. But I'm going to come to Jenna to ask what you feel like you learned or gained from your mentoring experience with Tamana as well.
Sure, thanks, Daisy. Again, it's just so hard to quantify and to speak about all the kind of many things I feel like I learned. One of the key things is definitely about kind of just the systems that we live in the UK and are therefore just like complicit in, either in like, you know, not knowing that they're going on or just not having access to people to find out the information about them. But I learned a lot about kind of so much about the asylum seeker and refugee system in the UK and what it's like to kind of, you know, to see it through Tamana's eyes and be on that journey in a sense. But along with that, I learned kind of, I think I really learned kind of what it means to persevere and to kind of thrive even when you're facing, you know, different challenges. Just watching Tamana continue to grow and achieve through all of the kind of things that she was facing, and like she managed to overcome all those barriers, and that just really enlightened me to kind of what is possible if you put your mind to something. You know, so like the goal that we worked on was that we Tamana was applying to do a master's, and just watching her go through that journey from everything, you know, overcoming having to do the IELTS exam to applying for the scholarship and all these things going on in the background, you know, was really, really inspiring. So I learned a lot about that and about strength and determination of spirit. I learned a lot about Afghani culture, which was amazing, and what life was like there. And I also learned a lot about myself, I think, and what I'm like as a mentor and kind of what I brought to those situations where we were brainstorming and addressing those challenges. And again, like the determination and kind of just trying to be optimistic in all of those situations and thinking about how we could work together and yeah, find solutions to the challenges and to the barriers that there were in kind of achieving Tamana's goals.
Thank you. And it really, well, but hearing reminded me that it would have been useful for me to ask why you signed up to do the mentoring program in the first place. But Jenna just said Tamana applied, I think, mainly to get onto a master's course in a UK university. Is that right, Tamana?
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. And Jenna, how about you? Can you very briefly tell us why you signed up in the first place to mentor? I'm sorry, I know that's a question, but
that's okay. I was really inspired when I saw the program because I really believe in kind of like women supporting women. So that really appealed to me. And I've done kind of similar things in the past, mentorship and so on. And I just thought that this was an incredible opportunity to kind of make a new friend, form a new relationship, and then also kind of learn and develop as well. Like I really love the idea that Roots were also investing in their mentors. So the training, access to the training was really important for me as well.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go back on track now. And the next question that I wanted to ask you was about how you went about creating a mutual mentoring relationship. So Jenna, I'll come to you first about what you did practically to make that mentoring relationship a bit more mutual, and then I'll come to Tamana for her input on that as well.
Sure, thanks, Daisy. It's been so inspiring listening to all the conversations so far on this topic, and it was such a kind of amazing, inspiring element of this mentoring program to me. So I think that the main kind of ways that I feel like we created a mutual mentoring relationships were, first of all, like in my role as a mentor, just always accepting and being honest about the fact that I don't and didn't always have the answers, and really embracing the fact that it's like a journey that you're on together and it's not necessarily about an end goal. Like, yes, we knew that Tamana had kind of things that she wanted to achieve, but it was about like really the process and like being in the present and dealing with what was in front of us every time that we met, because it was always changing. And it, it was an organic process, and it took different twists and turns, and it was always like discussing them, and talking with each other and brainstorming with each other about like, what we wanted to do at those junctures. And I think it was like through having that open mind that I think like that Tamanna was able to achieve like so much in the end. So yeah, just like constantly iterating on kind of the process, revisiting the goals that you're aiming to achieve, discussing them, and thinking about if we were on the right track, thinking about what was, most worth spending our time on, and so on. And then I think fundamentally also, it was just like about a friendship. Like I love, like I looked forward to our sessions every time that we had them, because like Tamanna became such a good friend, and like in and amongst all of the stuff that we worked on, and all of the things that we were both learning, it was like really fun just trying different coffee shops, and seeing Tamanna's reaction to frappuccinos, and like discovering different bits of London, and like learning about each other's family and culture and things. So I just think that was like such a strong foundation that we had, that it almost, it just felt very natural. Like sometimes I even forgot that we were like a mentoring relationship, but it just seemed like we were two friends that were working on something together. So that's what I would say.
And how about you, Tamanna? I guess maybe lots of that resonates with you, but how do you feel like you went about making it a mentoring relationship?
Yes, well, I believe creating a perfect mentoring relationship takes time to develop. Thus, we give a little time to each other in a way that just Gina explained, that we communicate constantly in defining our mutual benefits. We were very committed. We had a specific agenda. We did set boundaries. So we both were committed, and we both played our part in building a strong relationship during our sessions. I had a very specific and clear goal in my, and Jenna helped me in making plans to achieve my future goal. We both set boundaries such as when, how, and where to meet, to respect each other's time, and what we both expect from the end of our each sessions. So developing and sticking to boundaries allow us to create an atmosphere of mutual respect, which I strongly believe is an essential ingredient in building any good relationship. And we did use that in building our relationship during our mentoring sessions. So we set up specific agenda, committed, and we were committed, and we set up boundaries. We have also developed our mutual mentoring relationship in a professional plus friendly way, as Jaina just mentioned. And at the end of my mentoring sessions, I was very close to achieve my goal, and we built a very good relationship, and we both are good friends. Even some people told us that we look alike, not even only having mutual benefits. I don't know whether we do look alike, but people did comment on this, that we even look alike. So at the end, nevertheless, matching the right pair with some mutual interest is also one of the most paramount steps in creating a mutual mentoring relationship. And we were a perfect pair matched by roots. So that's how we created our good relationship.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tamanna, and thank you, Jenna. There's so much more we could say on this. It's just turned 4:50. I'm aware we're going to have to move right on. I just want to quickly mention before I hand back over to Mary that as an organisation, we're currently in the process of developing what is at the moment called a reverse mentoring programme, where women who have gone through the mentoring programme as mentees, like Tamanna did, will be trained as mentors. And that, again, will be another mutual mentoring opportunity where they will mentor senior business leaders, specifically thinking about how they can make workplaces more accessible to and welcoming for people coming from various different backgrounds, whether that's focusing on women, people with experience of the asylum system, people who have had career breaks or who have caregiving responsibilities. And it's something we're developing at the moment, which we don't have time to talk about now, but please do reach out if you'd like to chat more about it, or if you're interested in hearing more. But thank you so much, Jenna and Tamanna, for sharing your experiences. It was really lovely to hear more about it, as it always is. And I will hand back over to Mary. So thank you.
Thank you all three. Thank you all three. What you've said really confirms the importance of mutuality in support and of respect and boundaries. And I loved that people said you looked like each other, and I think you do a little bit.